I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days and I thought they'd never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend.
Hi everybody, Steerzo219 here. I figured I'd take the time today to show you some of my vintage James Taylor memorabilia. James Taylor is such a huge person in my life and in the life of everybody in my family. I was sung a lullaby. Sweet Baby James was my lullaby song that my dad would sing to me when I was a little baby. This record's been passed down to me by generation, and basically James has been a huge part of everybody in my family. So if you're a James Taylor fan, go ahead and comment on how he's influenced you in your life, or why you like his music. So what I'm going to show you first, this is the James Taylor JT album. The cover, black and white picture of James Taylor, of course. Not quite, his hair is definitely not as long as it was in the Sweet Baby James album, which we'll get to a little later, but definitely longer than it is now. Of course, he barely has any hair now, but I kid, even though it's true. So this is the JT album. Go ahead and open it up, and you get a plethora of black and white photos. I'll zoom in on a couple of them. This right here, of course, we have James Taylor and his first wife, Carly Simon, doing a duet, obviously. I don't know who some of these people are, although there are name identification things. I guess this would be Russell Kunkel. James at a bowling alley. This guy, I swear, he reminds me a lot of James's bass player, longtime bass player Jimmy Johnson, but that's not Jimmy Johnson. Here's Peter Asher, some guy doing the recording. Band, violin player. So that's what you see as soon as you open it up. So we'll go in here to the album itself, if I can get it out. Of course, it just slides out of the pocket here. Gosh, I'm having some issues trying to hold the camera with one hand. Hold on. Okay. So this is what the record sleeve itself looks like. Got James doing some kind of contortionist act, I guess. But anyway, the record's inside here, so we'll go ahead and take that out. And this record's not too anything special. James Taylor JT, just a red label. Songs on here, we've got Your Smiling Face, there we are. Honey Don't Leave LA, Another Gray Morning, Bartender's Blues, and The Secret of Life. Of course, Your Smiling Face and The Secret of Life especially would become major hits of James. On the other side, we have Handyman, another big hit. Sorry, I can't hold this still for some reason. I Was Only Telling a Lie, Looking for Love on Broadway, Terra Nova, Traffic Jam, my favorite. Damn this traffic jam, how I hate to be late. If I Keep My Heart Out of Sight. So if I can manage to hold this camera still, I'm so sorry. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so that's that album, JT album. Okay. The next album is James Taylor Greatest Hits, featuring the songs Something in the Way She Moves, Carolina in My Mind, Fire and Rain, Sweet Baby James, Country Road, You've Got a Friend, Don't Let Me Be Lonely Tonight, Walking Man, How Sweet It Is, Mexico, Shower the People, and Steamroller. Steamroller happens to be one of my personal favorites also. So this is the Greatest Hits album. It's in a bit better condition than the JT album. The JT album record that I have has some water stains on the cover. But just a minute, I'm going to put this down. So anyway, this is what I'm going to take with me when I go to see James in concert in July in Tanglewood in Lenox, Massachusetts. Take this. Hopefully if I run into him I can get him to sign. There's so much white space, I think his signature would look really good here. Open it up and you've got just a bunch of song credits, members, who is by, that kind of stuff. This record is from 1976, and the JT album record is from 1977. But so anyway, we'll go ahead and come in here. Boy, if you weren't dizzy before you started watching this video, you will be after. So here's James. You know, I've never been able to tell. It looks like a. I've never been able to tell if it's a picture or some kind of drawing. I don't know, but it's definitely a little bit mysterious. So anyway, take this out. The label on this record's a bit more colorful. You see James Taylor's Greatest Hits. We'll start on side 1. And track listing for side 1. Gosh, if you'll ever be able to read it. And then side 2. So that's that. So the next thing is from the Sweet Baby James album of 1970. It's the poster that came with that record. James sporting very long hair. Condition not so great. It's been a lot of years, up on my dad's wall when he was a kid. You can see just some color damage up here and some damage around here, but you know, overall still pretty cool. On the other side of this we've got copies of his handwritten lyrics to all the songs. Sweet Baby James, Lo and Behold, Sunny Skies, Steamroller, there's Steamroller again, Country Road, Fire and Rain, Blossom, Anywhere Like Heaven, Baby Don't Lose Your Lip on Me, and Sweet for 20G. So that's that. Okay, up on my wall here I've got a poster of James with his guitar. Not the best quality. I don't know where it came from. Again, it's been passed down to me from my dad, so I don't know the story behind it really, but pretty cool. Of course, this obviously isn't James, although the Beatles were responsible for James' first record deal, so I gotta have a little tribute to them in my room. Over here I've got a copy of Rolling Stone magazine with James on the cover. It's been laminated, but my dad did it a long time ago, and there's some air bubbles that have started to show up. But anyway, James Taylor Grins and Bears It by Timothy White. Anyway, this is the cover of Rolling Stone magazine from June 11th, 1981. So then coming over here, this is my most recent thing. It's just a cutout ad from a newspaper for his one-man band tour and album. This is from 2006, excuse me. But this is just hanging up. Obviously, all the James Taylor memorabilia I don't have, you know, of course, isn't worth very much because, well, he's still alive. But I plan to keep passing this down from generation to generation. My kids will get it, and my grandkids will get it after that, and hopefully it'll be worth something more one day. Anyway, that's all I have for you. Thanks for watching.